Okay, my name is Vanessa Felix, and my topic is dietary supplements. Dietary supplements are such ingredients as vitamins, minerals, herbs, amino acids, and enzymes. And they're marketed in forms such as tablets, gel caps, powders, liquids, teas, and so on. They can range from weight loss and performance enhancers to your daily multivitamin. How many people here take some type of dietary supplement? According to the CDC, over half of the adults in the US use at least one type of dietary supplement, the most common being multivitamins. Today, I will argue three main reasons why dietary supplements cause more harm than benefits to the consumer. So, my first supporting claim will be dietary supplements are not regulated. My second one will be the use of supplements eventually leads to megadosing. And my third one is many dietary supplements contain dangerous ingredients. So my first one, dietary supplements are not regulated. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, known as the FDA, regulates dietary supplements under a different set of regulations than those covering conventional foods and drug products. Per the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994, the FDA is actually not authorized to review dietary supplements for safety and effectiveness before they are marketed. So it's actually up to the manufacturer and the distributors to make sure that the products are safe and effective for the consumer. But since most existing testing methods for detecting contaminations in the supplements are time-consuming, expensive, and liable to false positives, many manufacturers don't get their products tested before they're put out in the market, and therefore they may contain many ingredients that are not labeled or contain too much of one ingredient. Supplements are only tested and verified by the FDA when they have been reported for causing extreme side effects or any false or misleading claims. And unlike prescription drugs, the manufacturers of these products don't have to show that there is evidence that their products actually work. So even though it's illegal for manufacturers of dietary supplements to claim that their products treat or prevent certain health issues, they still mislead the consumers by telling them that it'll help support bone health or heart health or anything like that. So a lot of consumers end up just taking things thinking that it's going to help them when it might not do anything or can cause some type of harm. So that leads to my next supporting claim, which is the use of supplements eventually leads to megadosing. According to vitaminstuff.com, megadosing is a term that refers to taking large quantities of supplemental vitamins, usually over 10 times the recommended daily allowance. Many consumers self-prescribe supplemental regimens for themselves without knowing that many supplements can actually lead to toxicity, some type of side effect, and can even cause death. Too much of certain vitamins, such as vitamins A, D, E, and K, which are fat soluble, those stay in your body for a lot longer periods and can stay there until they're needed. So this is what can lead to buildup or accumulation of that vitamin if you keep just taking amounts every day in high amounts. According to the New York Times, only about 7% of the estimated 40 million Americans who regularly take vitamins do so under the guidance of a physician. And taking a combination of supplements or using the products with prescribed medications can actually cause dangerous interactions, which could be life-threatening. On March 16, 2017, a San Diego woman died 6 days after receiving an IV infusion of turmeric. According to NBC News San Diego, Jade Erick's autopsy report concluded she died of severe anoxic brain injury, which is no oxygen getting to her brain, which led to cardiopulmonary arrest, a heart attack, most likely due to the turmeric infusion. As Dr. Myron Winnick, director of the Institute of Human Nutrition at Columbia University, put it, when we start seeing medical trouble produced by old standby vitamins like B6, long considered totally innocuous, even at high doses, the question arises, what else don't we know? Where will we see the next megadosing problem? Then I move on to my third supporting claim, many dietary supplements contain dangerous ingredients. Dr. Kelly Ward, an osteopathic physician from Arizona, notes that many multivitamins contain synthetic nutrients instead of natural nutrients. This can include any binders, lubricants, coatings, colorings, and fillings, leaving only a small amount of the nutrient it claims to be. And our bodies can't absorb the synthetic nutrients that most of these supplements are made out of, so eventually we end up just flushing them out, and it's kind of like a waste of money. According to Dr. Gangemi, a board-certified chiropractic physician and clinical nutritionist, manufacturers do not have to tell you exactly what is in the supplement unless the substance was added in the final dosage form. In other words, since there's more than one step to manufacturer uses that a manufacturer uses when making a supplement, they don't have to reveal where a particular substance came from or what it was mixed with, unless it was used in the final product. Dietary supplements may also contain banned substances, such as ephedra, which is banned in NCAA, which may result in penalties or banishment from a sport without the athlete's intention or knowledge. At a cellular level, taking the wrong nutrient, or even worse, not knowing what you are taking, may cause damage in the long run. A lot of vitamins and minerals that we need on a daily, we can actually get from our diet, and you don't need to be like a health freak or anything. You only need small amounts of of all your nutrients, your micronutrients. But if you do plan on taking dietary supplements, it's good if you seek agencies that have verified and tested the products, such as consumerlab.com or the FDA website. So in conclusion, now that I went over the three main reasons why dietary supplements cause more harm than benefits to the consumer by not being regulated, leading to megadosing, and containing dangerous ingredients, you are all now aware that just because something is available in the market, it doesn't mean it's completely safe.
Okay, proposition's clear, good preview what the supporting structure is going to be. The controversy, I think we got a little bit of that earlier from the other speech. I think there's a little bit of background on this. That's okay. Everything on the first point I think is a little bit problematic when it comes to the information, because there's claims that the manufacturers don't test it. I didn't hear any evidence on that, just an explanation about why that might be true. That the FDA only tests when there's complaints. Again, this is mostly asserted on your point. I think we need some illustrations of places where there have been complaints or that there are problems. There's just a lot of assumption about how consumers act and behave in regard to these kinds of supplements, and I think that those assumptions are not necessarily borne out by the evidence that you present. It's a little bit better as you get further into the speech. There's some information about megadosing, for instance, but I don't have any information about how many people take megadoses or how that changes, how long it takes for them to get to those kinds of things. The one example of a risk that you talk about is this San Diego woman, and I'm not exactly sure that the megadosing there, if she had a intravenous transfusion of this substance, that doesn't sound like she was doing this to herself as a vitamin supplement. That sounds like something else was going on. So I think the example might be an illustration of a problem with a megadose of a particular kind of supplement, but I'm not exactly sure that the context is the kind of thing that you were talking about here. The notion that the best statistic that I thought you had in that section was the information that said that only 7% of people take these vitamins under the guidance of a doctor. I thought that that was a good piece of information. And then you talk about, that there are potentially dangerous combinations. Those mostly sound like if people get into megadoses, and I think that that's let's face it, you said we had a statistic that said 50% of the population takes these things. Well, if we've got 300 million Americans, it's a little bit more than that. That means that it's 150 million Americans are taking these kinds of things. And I'm going, and what have we got as an illustration of the harm? We've got one woman in San Diego who got an IV and died as a result of a problem that she had there. I'm going, and that's the proof that you have on the danger. I think that that's problematic. You need to have something a little bit more substantive. There are some suggested hypothetical problems that on the third point, when you're talking about contaminants like ephedra or other things that are included, that it might affect athletes, for instance. But again, that's a little bit speculative and hypothetical. I think you've explained what the argument is and why these things would be the case. I'm not sure that you've provided sufficient proof to convince us that this is in fact as dangerous as you present it, and I think that that's kind of the downfall of the argument. It's well organized, pretty reasonably presented. It does go a little bit over time, and I did think you had a nice summary at the end. Thank you.